Money isn't just a tool, it's a mirror. It reflects who you are, how you think, what you fear, and, most critically, who controls you. Everyone wants it. Most chase it. But very few ever grasp what it truly is. They call it currency, success, freedom. But to Machiavelli, money was none of those things. To him, money was influence made visible, a silent force that shapes behavior, bends wills, and exposes hidden truths. He warned, if you don't understand how wealth is used to control, distract, and manipulate, you'll be enslaved by it, even as you believe you're free. Most people don't serve money, they serve the illusion that having it will make them powerful. But Machiavelli saw power differently. He didn't care about riches for luxury's sake. He cared about how money could move people without ever lifting a weapon. This isn't about how to make money, it's about how money makes people move. Machiavelli's lessons aren't for those chasing quick riches or flashy displays. They're for those who want to master the game of power, to wield wealth like a strategist, not a dreamer. In this video, we'll unpack his 13 rules of financial power, not rules for earning or spending, but for understanding money as a psychological and strategic lever. These are lessons most learn too late, when they're already trapped by dependency, betrayed by loyalty, or exposed by their own greed. Each rule is a warning, a blueprint, and a challenge to see money not as a prize, but as a force. Are you ready to see it clearly? Let's begin. Rule 1. Money is not power, it only reveals power. You've seen it countless times. A man earns a windfall, a woman inherits wealth, a startup raises millions. Suddenly, they act different, louder, flashier, more arrogant, convinced their bank account has elevated them. But watch closely, the truly powerful don't change. Only the weak do. Money doesn't create character, it magnifies it. The coward hides behind status. The manipulator becomes generous only for applause. The fool buys what he thinks intelligence looks like. Machiavelli's first lesson is brutal but clear. Don't chase money to feel powerful. Chase power, discipline, strategy, reputation, and let money signal your control, not define it. Consider a politician who rises to wealth and starts flaunting at new suits, lavish parties, loud displays. People don't respect him more, they calculate his weaknesses. Meanwhile, the quiet strategist, whose wealth is understated, commands the room without saying a word. Why? Because power isn't in the gold, it's in the mind. If you build your life around money's approval, you'll get rich and still be weak. There's nothing more pathetic than someone with wealth but no presence, owning things but commanding no respect. Machiavelli watched kings fall not from poverty, but from believing their gold made them feared. True power is when people shift before you speak, not because of your wallet, but because of your will. Rule 2. Wealth without mystery is vulnerability. In today's world, people are obsessed with flexing designer clothes, exotic cars, social media posts screaming their net worth. They think it's power. Machiavelli would call it exposure. Once you reveal what you have, you invite others to calculate what they can take. His principle was simple. Power thrives in concealment. Never let your wealth speak louder than your strategy. If money is the loudest thing about you, you've already lost. You've shown the world where to aim. The Machiavellian builds quietly, accumulating wealth through structure, not spectacle. He lets others underestimate him, keeping his true resources hidden. Imagine a business owner who lives modestly, but controls a vast network of assets no one sees. His competitors underestimate him. His allies trust him. His enemies misjudge him. That's power. By staying mysterious, you move undetected, strike without warning, and build a fortress no one can measure. Let people guess your worth. Let them doubt. It's better they think you're scraping by when you're secretly controlling the board. Rule 3. Never depend on money you don't control. This is the trap that ruins most people. They think earning money equals owning power. But if your wealth can be frozen, taxed, restructured, or erased by someone else's decision, you don't own it, you rent it. Machiavelli feared dependence more than poverty. If your survival hinges on another's approval, a boss, a bank, a system, you're not free. You're decorated, well-fed, but still a prisoner. The one who controls the food controls the lion. Ask yourself, is your income tied to someone's whim, Could your lifestyle collapse with one call? If so, you're not building wealth, you're borrowing it. The Machiavellian builds fortresses around his money, multiple streams, hidden assets. Revenue flows independent of trends or applause. He creates income that survives silence, security that doesn't rely on being liked. Once you control resources others need, you don't need to argue or threaten. They'll censor themselves. Apologize before you're offended. Obey while calling it compromise. That's economic gravity. People orbit you not because you force them, but because your structure pulls stronger than theirs. Rule 4. Money is the most efficient test of loyalty. People swear they love you, support you, will never betray you until money enters the equation. Then you see their true colors. Money forces choices, revealing trade-offs, temptations, and truths. Give someone power over your income and watch their kindness turn conditional. Offer a bribe and see how quickly loyalty melts, or worse. Watch what happens when you succeed and they don't. Your progress becomes their offense. Your wealth their proof of being left behind. Machiavelli didn't trust those who admired him. In poverty, he watched their reactions when wealth appeared: joy or jealousy, support or suspicion. He used money strategically, offering opportunities not to bless, but to test. If they grew arrogant, he pulled back. If they clung, he distanced. If they got greedy, he cut them off. Money is a filter, revealing who deserves to sit near your fire. Some are loyal only when they're cold. Once warm, they forget who built it. Use wealth to test character and let their reactions guide your alliances. Rule 5. The weak worship money. The strong control access to it. There are two types of people: those who chase money and those who use others' desire for it to rule them. The weak idolize wealth. The strong build systems that make others dependent. Machiavelli didn't worship gold, he studied its influence. The one who distributes money controls behavior. Kings had courtiers, lords had vassals, billionaires. Allocate resources to become powerful. Stop chasing income like a beggar. Ask, how can I create value others need? How can I shift from consumer to source? Imagine an entrepreneur who builds a platform. Others rely on her. Control lies not in her bank account, but in the dependency she's created. The one who cuts checks never begs. The one who owns the table doesn't ask for a seat. When you control access, people manipulate themselves to stay close. That's not earning, it's engineering. Machiavelli's generosity wasn't kindness, it was calculated patronage. Giving to reveal patterns: who's entitled, who's loyal, who's opportunistic. Build value others orbit, and you'll never chase again. Rule 6. Always let them think money is the prize. This is how you win without fighting. Let others chase the check, the promotion, the trophy. While they run, you study the terrain, build quiet influence, and move without fanfare. Machiavelli knew money is bait, the real prize is power. Let them celebrate their raise while you own the system that writes it. Let them fight over percentages while you secure positioning. Let them build careers while you build dependency. Money runs out, but social, emotional, and psychological debt lasts a lifetime. Consider a CEO who lets employees fight for bonuses, while she consolidates control over the company's direction. She doesn't flaunt wealth, she flaunts leverage. The wise don't get rich to be admired. They get rich to walk away from what others crawl toward. Machiavelli sat quietly, watching who moved when money was mentioned, deciding who was useful, dangerous, or predictable. That's control, not through greed, but through understanding how money reveals what people hide. Rule 7. Use money to create comfort, then control the fear of losing it. Money doesn't promise power, it promises safety. People don't work for wealth, they work to avoid losing the life it provides. Once someone ties their identity to a certain lifestyle status, comfort, visibility, they'll do anything to preserve it. Machiavelli knew the most loyal aren't those paid the most, but those who fear life without you. He didn't exploit, he positioned. He'd delay a payment, withdraw favor, or shift attention, letting others feel the edge of discomfort. In that uncertainty, they reveal how tethered they are to their comfort. Imagine a manager who gives just enough raises to keep employees hooked, but not enough to make them independent. Their loyalty isn't to her, it's to the lifestyle she enables. This isn't cruelty, it's structure. People compromise, self-censor, Obey not out of greed, but to avoid going backward. Empires were built not with blood, but with salaries, privileges, and the subtle threat of loss. Control comfort, and you control behavior without raising your voice. Rule 8. The rich are not respected, their measured world lies. Wealth doesn't guarantee admiration. Flaunt your status, and you don't impress, you invite calculation. People measure what you have, what you waste, what it takes to replace you. Machiavelli knew that wealth attracts admiration only from those beneath you, those who want what you have. The powerful don't admire your lifestyle, they study your moves. When you chase looking rich, you attract predators who smile at your success while probing your weaknesses. The Machiavellian doesn't display wealth, he demonstrates discipline, precision, influence. A quiet billionaire in plain clothes commands more respect than a flashy millionaire. Why? Because his empire is invisible, unmeasurable, untouchable. Never show the world how much you need admiration, it's a trap. Let your restraint be your edge, your silence your strength. When no one can see your full power, no one can calculate how to breach it. Rule 9. Become unshakable without him. People fear losing money because it means losing identity. The Machiavellian masters non-attachment. He earns, uses, multiplies money, but never lets it define him. His power lies in knowing he can walk away. That rewrites every interaction. People chase him, not because he's richer, but because he's free. He doesn't need the deal, the spotlight, or approval. Even if his wealth vanished, he'd rebuild not from luck, but from self-control, awareness, leverage, patience. Think of a leader who walks away from a lucrative deal because it compromises her principles. Others scramble, but she's unshaken. She knows her worth isn't in her wallet. This is the ultimate power, to need nothing from anyone. Money becomes a tool, not a master, and you become a force no one can manipulate. Rule 10. He who controls the flow controls the frame. Power lies not in holding treasure, but in deciding where it flows. You can be rich and powerless, wealthy and replaceable, but if you control distribution, budgets, opportunities, resources, attention bends around you. Machiavelli understood that the dispenser doesn't need to threaten. Silence is signal. Pause is pressure. Absence is punishment. Kings didn't hoard gold, they built dependencies. People don't follow wealth, they follow its source. Imagine a venture capitalist who decides which startups live or die. He doesn't flaunt wealth, he wields it. His silence shapes decisions. His choices set the rules. Control the flow, and you control the frame. Keep your resources limited, mysterious, capricious, and loyalty becomes automatic. People fear losing what they can't replace. Rule 11. Never teach them the system, let them depend on the outcome. Machiavelli wants to sell their blueprint, flaunt their success, teach their methods. Machiavelli would never. Revealing the system lets others replicate it, making you dispensable. Instead, give just enough value to keep them engaged. Results, not structure. Old empires guarded their secrets, teaching only their heirs. The more mysterious your success, the more mythic your power. Consider a tech mogul who shares profits, but not processes. Employees rely on his results, not his playbook, ensuring they need him. By withholding the system, you become irreplaceable, not a source of money, but a source of meaning. People trust your guidance, echo your words, obey your strategy, not because they understand it, but because it works. Rule 12. When you give, attach invisible strings. Machiavelli saw generosity as leverage, not kindness. He gave to create obligation. People rarely forget pain, but they're forever bound by unexpected help, given a way that feels rare, targeted, exceptional, and non-recurring. And they'll feel a private debt. A mentor who funds a student's education doesn't ask for repayment. He knows the student's loyalty is payment enough. Never announce your help. Never expect gratitude. Never repeat the favor unless the power dynamic holds. That makes your generosity sacred, and people protect what they fear losing. Rule 13. Build a life where money is present, but not loud. Truly powerful don't talk about money, they live it. Their wealth is the foundation, not the topic. They surround themselves with people who understand value instinctively, not emotionally. They've moved beyond the chase, reaching an equilibrium where money is an instrument, not an identity. You don't want to be the one debating deals or flaunting income. You want to be the one who says little, signs the check, and walks out while others scramble. Picture a silent investor in a boardroom. Everyone waits for his nod, not because he's loud, but because his presence is undeniable. His power isn't in possessions, it's in structure, restraint, silence. That's Machiavellian wealth, not frantic, not desperate, just present, like a shadow behind every move, reminding the world your strength lies in what you don't show. The final call. These 13 rules are Machiavelli's blueprint for mastering money, not as a prize, but as a lever. They're not about getting rich, they're about wielding influence, building systems, and staying unshakable. Most learn these truths too late, when they're trapped by dependency or exposed by their own greed. Don't be one of them. Ask yourself, which rule hit you hardest? Where are you still chasing illusions? Share your thoughts in the comments. And let's build a space for those who see money not as a goal, but as a strategy. Subscribe for more insights on power, influence, and living strategically. Money isn't your master, it's your mirror. Use it wisely.